Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Haitians in Medicine podcast, brought to you by the Speak Up Network. I am your host, Nehemie, and today we have Jean Joseph
Rendel.
Rendel. Okay, I didn't want to mispronounce it. So, Mr. Jean Joseph Rendel is a BSN educated nurse, which means he has his bachelor's in nursing, and he is currently pursuing his doctorates in nursing practice, family nurse practitioner, right?
Yes.
Any specific specialization?
No, I just really focused on primary care.
Okay.
Primary care area. Yeah.
All right, so Jean, so what is your story? Like, where did you get started? Because I know a lot of guys are not nurses, so let's hear about you.
All right. So I was originally born in Haiti.
Oh, really? Where?
Yeah, I was born in Port-au-Prince.
Oh.
But I came here very young, so I don't remember much. So all my friends will tell you I'm like a fake Haitian.
Oh my God.
I came in when I was 5, 6. So I spoke only Creole, of course, but I went to kindergarten, so I started school here pretty much. So I went from not knowing any English in kindergarten to like by the 3rd grade I was in the gifted program.
Oh wow.
I mean, so I really just love education from the beginning. But how I got into nursing it was honestly I kind of fell into it. You know, growing up being Haitian, you know, of course it's gonna be like doctor, lawyer. You know, it's the only option you have. For a long time I thought I was gonna be a doctor, but I really didn't have any education in not education. I didn't have a direction in middle school, high school. I was kind of just going with the flow. My grades were showing that I C average. I was just a regular student.
Oh yeah, C's get degrees, man.
Yeah,
that was me.
I just lost a lot of motivation. And, you know, when you get into the teen years, you're trying to fit in, trying to find a direction, especially being a minority, especially being Haitian. You know, back then Haitians weren't as popular as they are now. They were, you're a last guy, cats, all that extra stuff. So I was just trying to find a way to fit in. So I kind of left education behind and focused on other people, which was a mistake, but I ended up fixing it. So by 9th grade, I started with the guidance counselor, and I found out that my GPA was like 2.8, and it just blew me away because talking to my mom is always 4.0, 4.0, and I just really wasn't paying attention. And ever since that meeting, from 10th grade to 12th grade year, it was all straight A's.
Oh yeah,
nothing, no B's, nothing at all, and I was able to bring it up to I think about 3.7.
that's actually really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good because I took AP classes as well. They count for extra, so yeah, I brought it up a lot, and that was how I was able to get into college. Now, going to FAU, even by senior year, I still didn't know I wanted to be a nurse. I was looking into paramedics. I was looking into everything under the sun. I was trying to find out, how you Google best ways to make most money with education. I was doing all that stuff. I really had no idea. But talking to my mom, she pushed me medical route again. So I said, okay, I'll go to nursing school. Now FAU has a program. I was actually looking to get it. It was the first year that they had it. It's called direct admit.
Oh yeah, I was part of the class that if you didn't get in, you got to switch schools.
Yeah, they stopped doing the traditional. It was I had no idea. I thought it was gonna be regular. I'll do 2 years and then I'll go into nursing school.
That's how it used to be. That's legit how it used to be a long time ago. Yeah. It's like you were only there for your prereqs, and it's like if you get in, you get in. If you don't, you got to go to somewhere else.
Exactly. You have to take the TEAS test. A lot of extra steps.
Oh yes, definitely.
This one, I just put nursing as when I applied, I put nursing as my major, and they put me right into the program because I guess I had good enough scores and grades. So another thing, I fell into that so I went straight in. So that program, you do your prereqs and the nursing program together. It was a little stressful, but I don't know, for some reason school is always easy to me. So I got through it pretty well. I was doing study groups and teaching in the study groups. I was always that guy because I always learn better when I teach anyways.
Oh wow.
So I did, I did okay and graduated pretty well. And then in the middle of nursing school, I got into being CNA. A friend hooked me up at Boca Regional. That's how I got, the job I am now. I'm not currently a nurse at Boca Regional Hospital. I did that I was CNA for a year, and then that was 2017. I graduated in 2018. The rest is history. Now I'm a 2-year veteran.
How do you like it now, like compared to when you were a CNA to how you're working now? Like, what is the difference? How do you feel?
It's honestly, I feel like it's the same, just more responsibility. You still have to care for the person as a whole. So, I mean, I've always been a guy to be very independent. So I'm always like a kind of do it by myself kind of person. So everything the CNA does, I would do it, and I'll just add my stuff on top of it. Because if I'm there, I'm just gonna take care of it. I'm not the type of person to just put everything on somebody else. Of course, it's nice to delegate. It's a very important skill to have delegate. That's a skill I'm still working on.
Oh my gosh, it's a very hard skill, especially if you have a background as being a CNA. It's gonna be 10 times as harder.
Exactly, yeah. Because you know how the conversations go in the nurse station. Oh, this nurse is lazy. Oh
Lord.
Computer. You know how it is. So, yeah. But I just do what I can to make everybody around me happy. Not only my patients, but my coworkers. I just try to make everybody happy. I'm really like a pleaser in every sense of the word. Really.
Amen. That's the same way I feel.
Yeah.
So since you're a male in a female dominated, oh my gosh, where are my words today? Profession. Since you're a male in a female dominated profession, how do you feel about the term Murse? And do you feel like you are a Murse?
That word's kind of weird to me. I just say nurse. I just call myself a nurse when people ask me. I never call myself a Murse.
I always wonder because then like guys would do like whole photo shoots and be like, "Oh, your Murse, your favorite Murse." It's always in their bio, and then you're just like, "Why are you referring to yourself as that when you can just refer to yourself as a nurse?" So that's why I always wondered, did you refer yourself to as that?
No, I went to school to be a nurse, and now I'm a nurse. So I just call myself a nurse. Yeah.
So now that you've had this experience in nursing, you've had your experience as a nursing assistant. What's your future plans now?
So currently, I'm in FAU DNP program, which is Doctor of Nursing Practice. It's a 3-year program. That's another one that's kind of accelerated. It goes with BSN and DNP with the masters along the way. My goal for getting a DNP is I want to open a primary care office. Provide primary care primarily to the underserved communities, particularly Haitian communities, because they don't have a lot of options, especially those socio-economical communities. They don't have many options of people to go see that look like them.
Oh, definitely.
They might not care as much as somebody that's from their community, somebody who understands what they're going through, why it's so hard for them to give up their favorite foods, or what I mean, like why they can't give up the D so spot, and different ways of making it, or different ways of seasoning it, so that maybe it's a little bit
less salt, less like they don't have to put the whole bottle of Ippies or put the whole bottle of oil in it. It's like, it's very hard. They're Haitians. They do not like to leave their foods. They will lose their finger before they lose their foods.
Exactly. And then it might end up going that way, honestly, if you don't.
It really, no, I've seen it. I've seen like a whole necrotic hand, like all of and it's dry necrosis too. Yeah. So all of it is like this. And then they have just the thumb and like the palm. Yeah. That's it. And they holding on to it, and then they get upset that they have to, like, the doctor has to literally cut it off, and now they're left without a hand. It's crazy to me. So you graduated cum laude, what I saw. So how did that work out? Because nursing already is hard, and a lot of people like me, I was a C's get degrees in nursing school. I was barely hanging on by a thread. But how did you make it?
But like I said, school isn't that difficult for me. I heard a lot of horror stories about nursing school is, it's going to take up all your time.
It does.
Have a life, all this extra stuff. But I had a job. I went to nursing school, and I still managed to have a life somehow and graduated pretty well. Cum laude. I mean, it just takes a lot of, you just got to dedicate. Good time management is the key, I guess. I was working, and whenever I wasn't working, I was studying, and I'll dedicate a certain amount of time studying, and then I'll go out and have life, because you have to have a good balance in your life, so you don't get burnt out. You got to fit your health into it. You got to exercise, got to eat well, because all that goes into doing well in school. Like, people will say they'll pull all-nighters. I'll never do that.
That was me.
You end up in the test, and you're falling asleep in the test. It's just not me, and I have to make sure I eat. People will skip breakfast. Like, I never skip breakfast. My plan every single exam, get 8 hours and eat a good breakfast, and I always did well. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, even if I didn't study enough, just you can figure out why you're reading it. To me.
Oh my gosh. I used to, because I worked overnight, I used to literally come from work and go straight to school and then like study while I'm at work and go to school and then do a little last minute studying and then do my tests.
Ooh, I don't know how you did it, but you made it.
Ask all my friends. I don't know how I made it. I really don't. But okay, now that you're a nurse, do you find yourself gravitating towards more nurse friends, or are you like the only nurse friend in your group?
All my friends are nurses. Now I think about, well, most of my friends are nurses. You know, in nursing school, I had a nice community of friends outside of nursing, but now that I'm actually in the nursing field, it's mostly all nurses, and it's, you know, of course, it's mostly all women.
I've noticed that. Like, I have a lot. Like, most of my friends, they're mostly in the medical field, and those who aren't, it's like few and far between. So it's like you tend to find yourself to gravitate towards these people. How is the community now that you're doing your DNP? Like, do you are you linking up with other DNP students?
Yes.
What do you like? Like, are you guys coming together to? How would I say it? Are you guys coming together and like forming study groups, or finding a way to make it?
For sure. Yeah, I'm the only black man in my class.
Really?
Yeah, there's black people, that I'm the only black man in my class. So it was a little difficult at first to find a little group. Of course, there was people from my undergrad that was there, so it was easy to build connections with them, and then through them I met new people. So we have a little study group that we you know, we help each other with the tests and everything, help each other study, all that good stuff. I do have I have a couple Haitians, but I do have one Haitian friend that is focused on geriatrics, and her goal is to open a nursing home in the future, which is, you know, also was in my plans too. It's kind of like my retirement plan, really, open a nursing home, because in 20 years we're gonna have the, you know, baby boomers are all gonna be retired.
Oh, easily. Nursing homes and adult daycares.
Exactly.
Those are what's gonna be popping.
Yeah, they're gonna be booming. So if you can find a good footing now, get a good education on it now, and start early, you can, you know.
That's actually like one of the best things to do outside of audiology, because they said that audiology and gerontology is what's going to be big in the next 20 years, because the way that phones are working now, they're making phones a little more wireless, but before that, like, the damage has already been done. So it's like those are the two big things that if you get them as a specialty, stick to them, because they're going to be needed.
See, I didn't know the audiology. I gotta look into that.
Oh, you see? That's where it's at.
Now, see, even with the adult daycares and all that stuff, I don't want my people to get left behind. You know what I mean? I want them to have their kind of representation. People that speak their language, you know, people that speak Creole, places where, you know, I can put my mom if it, you know, if it comes to that, or, you know.
Wait, where are you from? You from Palm Beach, or you from Miami, Broward area?
I move around a lot, but I'm mostly in Broward. Right now I live in Palm Beach.
I was about to say, in Broward and Miami, that's where you'll find a lot of Haitian doing stuff. Like Palm Beach is it's a lot of stuff is Haitian known, but Haitian known through other people. So like you won't find people that speak Creole. It's only if they hire a Haitian person. In Miami, it's like Haitian owned, Haitian people are working there. So
I love that community. Yeah, it was hard to find a nice Haitian restaurant in Palm Beach.
Sure. Definitely. So you're saying that you were the only black man in your class. How does that feel? Like, what is your motivation now, like being the only black male in there?
Well, you know, it's, especially with everything going on now with the protests and, you know, the whole George Floyd situation, it's just really more added motivation to get more people that look like me into those kind of programs. I love to see black professionals, like you spoke to Danielle.
Yeah, it's her boyfriend. I saw him in one of your pictures. I was like, hey, I saw that guy.
Yeah, that's my brother, yeah.
Oh, wow. See, this world's like this big.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So she's an inspiration to me. I have another brother who's a surgeon right now. You know, he's a surgeon, and he's up in Virginia doing his residency.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's just, I love
that residency is long, and they have to do a fellowship. Oh, jeez. Yeah,
but he's doing his thing.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Me growing up, I didn't think stuff like that was even possible. You know
exactly. That's one thing. Like, that's one thing I like that I realized with this podcast. Like, people didn't even know. I think I met a second year med student. He didn't know that like CRNAs existed. I was like, I see them people all the time. I didn't like. It's very hard. Like there is those stuff out there, and there are people like us that do it. People that look like us, speak like us. And that's one big thing that I plan to do with this podcast. Is like to expose, like, hey, you don't only have to be a nurse. You could be a radiology tech, and trust me, they make money. They make the same amount as nurses.
That's what I was looking into before I got into nursing. When I was looking at my Google searches. Yeah,
they do.
So I have a cousin who's a CRNA. I have another one who's a director of a unit at Jackson Memorial. You know, I have a lot of professionals in my family that show me that
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I didn't have that. So a lot of my stuff that I saw was like on the job experience. So that's how I saw a lot of these things. But like just to see it and just to know that it exists and knowing that I didn't know it, imagine how much other people didn't know it either.
Exactly. So that's, and you know, everybody protests in their own way. That's my fight. I look at it as I'm trying to start this trend in my immediate family. I'm the first one in my immediate family, you know, in my household to go to college. I'm the oldest one. So I'm really trying to set an example I have 2 younger sisters and I have a younger brother. I want to show them that it's possible because I didn't see that growing up. We were kind of separated. It wasn't until I got older that I was able to meet, you know, my 2 brothers that you've seen and my cousins. So I didn't know that we had such success in my family. I thought it was just us. So now I want to be able to set that example, give them a little bit of a head start to show them that I'm getting a doctorate degree. You can do it too. You know,
oh, definitely. It's always like good to reach back and to make sure that like those behind you know that it's possible. Like you can stick through it. If I can stick through it, you can stick through it.
Exactly.
So would you, how would you say it is for you as like a Haitian man in nursing?
You know, nursing has a lot of Haitian people in it. So
you'd be surprised when I was looking at the statistics. We're actually, out of Black people, we're actually even like a smaller subculture. It's not a lot of Haitians. Well, in South Florida you see it, but like when you go other places, you'll still see more Hispanics, more Black people, more even Indian people before you'll see like Haitians or even any Caribbean nature. So it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much Haitian nurses. And then when I actually started traveling and I actually started looking around, there's actually not that much Haitian nurses. Okay. I was shocked to find that out.
See, we're in our own little war here in South Florida.
It sure is. It sure is.
But I don't know. I guess I have to go see in the other places how it is. But right now, in my community, I feel comfortable because it's mostly Haitians around me. This be my language. I speak their language. And, you know,
yeah, I love it too. That's the one of the main reasons why I love it so much too.
Yeah.
So would you encourage other men to pursue nursing?
For sure. I think we need more men in nursing.
I think we need more men in nursing too.
Yeah. Whenever I float to a different floor, they love seeing a man and then they're like, oh, somebody can do all my heavy lifting, you know?
Oh my God.
It's nursing is, we have to have all voices in nursing to get all perspectives. So I think I would encourage anybody who wants to help people to be a nurse.
Definitely. What advice would you offer to people like you who are like, oh my gosh, I think I want like a young boy is like, I want to pursue nursing, and they're like, oh look, Jeans does it. Like, what advice would you give them?
Start early. You know what you want to do from the beginning. Like, don't wait last minute like me. I don't know how I got as
you finished your way in.
Yeah, I really feel like I really just got blessed because I didn't know what I wanted to do all the way until maybe a month before graduation. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I signed up to be a nurse just because I was like, okay, this is something stable. But I wasn't really too sure about it. It wasn't until I started the program and started going to clinicals that I realized that I really loved nursing. But I just did it as I wanted to do something. I didn't want to waste my time. So I would say start early, maybe volunteer in different areas, see what you like the most, because the time really just flies, and before you know it, you're an adult and you're adulting.
That's how I feel right now. It was like the time between not being a nurse and the time between being a nurse. It feels like such a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Twitter and Instagram is @Jeanster3, JEANSTER3.
Okay. So thank you for coming today, and make sure if you want to follow us on Apple Podcasts @Haitians in Medicine, also on Instagram @Haitians in Medicine, and if you want to see the videos, you can follow us on Nay Knows Best on YouTube. So thank you again for coming, Jean.
Thanks for having me.
All right. See you guys next week.